Hi, and welcome back to Purple Collar Life. Today, finally, we're gonna get started on that French drain digging project in front of the shed. I wanna get that pipe buried further so that I'm not having trouble opening those doors, especially in the wintertime when the ground heaves up. It'll also give us better drainage around the building so that water stops going underneath and into the center of the building even when it's closed up. So we'll get started on that today. We're gonna use the mini excavator, and I'm gonna show you the poor man's transit for laying the French drain pipes in the ground. Now, transits are expensive. They're about $600 at Home Depot, and I've got a cheaper way to accomplish the same thing on small jobs like this. So we're gonna use the Takeuchi TB235-2, and there is that pipe. You can see I didn't have it buried. I just dug it by a shovel a couple years ago to try to catch some water going around the shed. Today, we're gonna take that section of pipe out. We're gonna dig this deeper so that this door can open all the way. Right now it catches on the pipe when you're trying to open it, even worse in the wintertime, to a point where it gets hard to get the tractor out of there. We're still gonna let it come out. Over here, I might have to dig this swale a little bit deeper for the water to come out. But on this other side of the building that we talked about in a previous video, I'm just gonna put some more dirt in here, I think. But if that doesn't work like we want it to, we'll just take another piece of pipe and dig a trench this way for a French drain going that way. This is downhill, so there's a natural slope to it going down that way. There's actually a natural slope going left to right here, so these should both be fairly easy projects to do with our poor man's transit. Okay, so we're making some pretty good progress. I think I've got a downhill slope going along this trench. I just need to go a little bit further out there towards the excavator and then make a way to divert the water there to the left. So we're gonna finish that up, and then I'm gonna show you that poor man's transit. So this is what I call the poor man's transit. This is a laser line, but it's self-leveling. So you can see I put it on a camera tripod here. I'll set it here in the yard, turn that laser line on, let it self-level, And then just like a transit, except without the noise, I just use my standard tape measure along here to see the drop from the left side to the right side. And this laser line will help me see that without spending $600 on a transit. What does this cost? This one's about $40. There's actually better ones out there now that are $90 up to $200 that are completely mobile, easier to self-level. This one has to be on a fairly straight surface to self-level, otherwise it will error out. But usually with the tripod, because of the expandable legs, I can get this pretty close to the point where it will level on its own. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. We'll see what the drop is going across that distance, and I also wanna make sure I'm low enough that I can get both doors open. Most of these newer tripods have a little bubble level indicator in there, just like this one. So that was easy to help me get things leveled up. You can see on the building there, hopefully you can see. And just like any laser, you don't want to look directly at it, but you can see there's a green laser line going across the shed. I will use my tape measure across this ditch to see this downhill slope. And if you just want to spot check to make sure that laser line is level, lay 4-foot level across it. You can also use the level like this to see that line. I'm downhill a little ways here. See, my line's up here, so we are going downhill. Had to slide my laser light back just a little bit to get further over here. There we're at 41, 42 1/4, 40. Do a little bit more right here. Could probably just do that by hand with the shovel. I did have good slope going down across there, but I didn't have enough clearance for this right hand door. I had about 3 inches between the door and the pipe, and I decided it just was not quite deep enough. That 3 inches above the pipe to this other door was not going to be enough for me to let it heave up. So moved the excavator over to here. You can see the damage where I squeezed in between this treetop to get in there. Dug this end out quite a bit deeper, which meant I had to move the excavator down to this end, dig this end out deeper. This right in the middle is where I could not quite reach, so I'll just clean that out with a shovel. But I'm going to keep digging this here, and then I'm going to have to dig an outlet for that water to go downhill a little bit. You know, as I was digging, I just thought, and I had the pipe laid in, I thought there's no sense in doing this wrong a second time. So I wanted to get that dug out deeper. I think it'll be much better now. It's going to take more gravel, so that will be more gravel we'll be using of the big pile, but it'll drain right for the rest of my life at least. I do need to get better at driving though, because every time I am in the yard, I am messing up the lawn. And I'm trying to always drive moving both at the same time, take, you know, wider turns, but any turns on those tracks seems to mess up our lawn. Got big bumps everywhere. I have wanted to get this French drain around the shed done for years, probably 5 years now. Who knew all I had to do was save up and buy my own Mini X. Well, for my first ever excavating and trenching and French drain job, I'd say that's not too bad. Let's take a look here. So I've still got a little bit of fill to do here. Then I'm going to level all this out. I had mentioned in a previous video, just going to make a nice little slope in there so that the water can run down off of the roof of the shed and then kind of back towards the wood. It naturally goes back towards the woods there. I think I'm going to do one more load of gravel, one more bucket full in the John Deere right here, and then I've got a little bit of cleanup to do around here, but not bad. Both doors are now able to open the entire way to get the tractor in and out easily into the shed. There's a little bit of a gap there underneath so that, you know, if it heaves up in the wintertime, hopefully I'll still be able to get the doors open. So I think I'm pretty impressed with myself for my first ever French drain project here in front of the building. I'm really glad that I went ahead and dug deeper the second time around. So I actually dug that out twice, but I'm glad I did that because I think it was the right way to do it. It wasn't going to be quite deep enough before. Now I've got that fixed. So it really did take both of these machines to do that work. The Mini X did all the trenching, and then the John Deere brought all that gravel back from the driveway and filled that number 3 gravel in on top of the French drain. It's going to be perfect to get that water away from the building. I'm going to go ahead and get one more scoop of gravel. I'm going to level out that other side. I'll put a time lapse of all that happening here on the video, but hopefully you enjoyed this video of the French drain going in front of the shed. If so, please give us a like, a thumbs up down below. We'd really appreciate it. Really enjoying having the Mini X here. And it's one of those things where I kind of, probably 10 years ago, I would have said there's no way I'd own a Mini X unless you're in the construction and the excavating business. Why would you own a Mini X? But now that I have one, I see about 1 million uses for it. And it is a big investment for sure, but I've got a lot of life left to live, hopefully, and that'll be a tool that I'll keep using here on the property at Purple Collar Life. Looks pretty good there. Drain looks real nice. And the outlet looks good over there. It's starting to rain, so let's hop in the Mini X and talk. Okay, so I just thought I'd finish up this video and say, you know, if I were going to do that again right now, I would probably do it better than I just did it. And that's kind of how things go when you own your own property and you're learning on equipment. Each time I do something with the John Deere, I get a little bit better at it. Each time I use the Mini X, I'm hoping I'll get a little bit better at it. But you can't be afraid to try something you've not done before. Now, there's no doubt that an expert probably would have done that French drain much faster and better than I did. But I was glad I did it, because not only did I save paying somebody else to do that, but I've been waiting for a long time to try to find someone to do that work, and just had no luck getting someone to come out here and do that. So glad I was able to do it on my own now. I didn't even have to buy any supplies. I already had that perforated French drain pipe in there. It just wasn't buried properly. So it didn't cost me any money, just a little bit of time here on a rainy Saturday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again the next time.
Yes.